bringing the people behind our food to life.
I love green bean season. These are called Blue Lake pole beans. They're supposed to grow to 6 feet, but somehow I end up with a variety that, because this is 6 feet here, so these guys easily go to 7, and then I have 10-foot trellises over there that they're way up above. So pole beans need something to climb on, something fairly strong, as you can see. This one's tipping over, and it was pretty strong. And they climb and they climb and they climb, and then when they start to set flowers, ready your canning jars. They start with white flowers, and then as the flowers turn yellow, they start to shrivel, and the baby bean starts to form. And then it's about a week, depending on the weather. Then you can start harvesting about a week after those flowers start to shrivel. And then they keep yielding practically until frost. If you keep picking, they keep yielding. This is probably a little bit young for a harvestable bean, but I'll pick it anyway. With a harvestable green bean, I try and use 2 hands, and I have my nifty hands-free cart here. If I had to have one hand holding the basket, it would just be too challenging. And so I start with the ones that are closer into the stems, the stem of the plant, because they're bigger, and I leave the little babies. Those are kind of too small. I'll go for some higher ones here. I'm getting 2 at a time there. Bink. Usually they start to ripen from the bottom of the plant up, so make sure that you take a good look down there. Oh, there's some. And something I found about pole beans last year is they don't need so many leaves. Most plants, obviously, the leaves photosynthesize for the plant, but you don't need to worry about this many leaves. So I've started snapping the extra leaves off that block my view of the beans. I snap them off so I can see the beans better, and then I feed those leaves to my goats. And that also exposes the bean plant to more sun, which speeds up the ripening. Here's a good branch with, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, possibly 14 beans on one branch. So I could grab all of those and go yank, but I would risk snapping it from the stem. So again, I'm just going to hold it carefully. I'll leave those guys. These are about as big as I like to pick and use. If they get much bigger than that, I might feed them to my goats or just kind of chew on them for myself in the garden. If I were putting these beans, if I were picking for customers right now, I would have second thoughts about putting those in my bags because they're going to be kind of tough and woody. They're still okay, but they're definitely these are bordering on mature beans. You want to pick as many beans as you can, because if a plant has a bean that's ripening on it, it says, oh, okay, my biological imperative is to set seed. And here, I've set seed, so I'm going to slow down producing. I don't need to produce as many because I've set seed. So you want to take those beans off. I pick every 2 to 3 days during the height of bean season. Sometimes I shake the plant a little bit because beans wiggle in a different way than the leaves do. I have to do that with my peas too. Sometimes I'll be looking and it's like, I don't see any more, and you shake it and sometimes something wiggles in just a way, like over on that side. There's a whole bunch. And you can leave them on the plant. You can dedicate one whole, like if I wanted to do dried beans or save the seeds, I would just leave one whole trellis untouched and let any beans that were on it grow to full size and then dry in the sun, and then I would use those for next year's beans to plant.